GIPro has deeply convicted me to take a move, to take a stand within the public square.
GIPro for me worked to work on me.
GIPro has embedded in me values.
GIPro has molded me into a person of integrity.
I feel GIPro has made me aware of various social concerns.
GIPro gave me a taste of the reality.
One of the objectives of Hesabika is to mentor the next generation of leaders. And so we see GIPro as a strategic intervention. And our aim is that over the next 10 years, we'll have raised over 300 values-driven leaders and ethical champions that this country so badly needs.
We've picked 20 young people who are young, passionate, want to serve, and GIPro intends to equip them, not just with technical knowledge, but also the values, the godly values that are necessary to serve in those spaces.
The GIPro program was just a game changer. It was just best suited to prepare some of us who have not discovered a call and a passion for this.
It is in GIPro that I got my purpose, to know that I'm living here on earth and I was born with a reason, specifically maybe to fix, solve, or even just to be a solution to the problem in the society.
GIPro has shifted my mind in regards to how I view life, and I am now bouncing back at life with intentionality.
My period here in GIPro, I can say that has shaped my values, especially consistency, commitment.
GIPro has redefined work and success in my life and the perspective with which I viewed work.
Working at the airport, people know there are lots of transactions that take place at the airport, and many people want to bypass regulations and rules because they know they will give money for a way out, but standing for the truth, doing what is right has really stood up.
Talking of partnership engagement, resource mobilization, then to the technical skills in the workplace, communication skills, I feel like I am more able to articulate what I believe in, even in terms of advocacy.
Been asking myself a lot of questions on who I work for, who do I need to please at the end of the day, and that for me has constantly brought me to a place where I am aware of God at the workplace, and that has helped me navigate pressures, navigate stress, but also has also made me want to deliver and actually do a wonderful job at work. And I'm glad that that has actually found formation while I have been through this GIPro program.
The GIPro journey in itself has exposed the interns to different people at different levels, beginning with the trainers that we had here when we were doing the training, then the mentors that we gave them, then the supervisors that they are working with at the office. So they have learned to build connections.
When GIPro started, going to Kenya School of Government, our experience at JTI, it has been amazing. Our leadership dialogues are more convinced than ever I chose the right path.
It's really also helped me visualize the kind of journey that God was first interested in my life, changing my life, before even changing the world, before using me to change the entire world. So that is formed the mentorship part of it, which even has given me a new look. My personality was changed. My social life, interacting with my fellow interns, that they were going, of almost similar challenges we were encountering.
There's a time that I attended a meeting chaired by the Principal Secretary from National Treasury, and I really admired her gravitas and executive presence when handling teams.
I was involved in the reconciliation process between the border and the police. There were a lot of skirmishes between the two. They were at loggerheads, but I was involved straight for the concept writing all the way to the national symposium which we had between the Boda Boda and Boda Boda riders and the National Police Service.
My supervisor gave me such an ample time in the course of my internship, where I have attended board meetings, ratifying farms to be procured and all that. So after those consultative meetings, I have to put reports together, and I think it really stretched my ability, because I think I had just the basics of report writing.
We've had a good journey with my intern, very exciting journey. I gave him a day, I think 2 days in my office, just to see how my day looks like. We took lunch together. He asked me quite a number of questions. It was so exciting to have him that day. And the other very exciting moment is when I engaged him on his life issues, and we had a lot of discussion. And then the other one, of course, he had a visit with me in my home with my family for a few days, and it was very exciting to just share life with him.
I must say that I'm very glad I agreed to have an intern, and the intern has been with me now for a year. I must say that when she came, I hadn't even planned how we were going to work together, because if you're to be here when I'm in session, it's almost chaotic, everything requiring my attention. But I remember her walking into my chamber and sitting there as I started dealing with matters online. And as days went by, we eventually had a routine which was very comfortable for us. And I think it was made easier by the intern that I had.
Many of them testified of being tested and tried. And many of them have told of great victories that they got.
Particularly for me, when I entered in May, there was not much of a workload going on. So it was very easy for me to feel discouraged or to want to move departments or directorates or ministries. But my convictions when it comes to integral missions, which is something that we were trained in through the GIPro program, showed me that you'd not necessarily have to have your way in the workplace and in the public sector, just in the ways that you think that it can happen.
I recall I was taking the department when we had actually, I think, a crisis kind sort of. A number of the staff who were working there were taken to Baringo for induction. So literally there was shortage. So you are new, there's so much workload, you're not used to this work, you know. So it really took so much, you know, from me in terms of energy, time. So sometimes waking up in the morning to come to work was difficult, because why am I doing all this? There's no motivation per se in terms of I'm expecting something at the end of the day, you know, apart from experience. But again, still deep down, I remember the commitment to a cause. And this is a cause I think I was willing to work.
The sacrifices that the mentees have had to go through, sometimes you do not have fare and you report to that work, where other interns have an excuse, and people can see you struggle, but still they see you outstanding. It just reaffirms that God had this set out before, and He knew that this is the way you win over humanity. This is how you serve people.
In government, you interact with a number of government resources or materials, and at times there would be the challenge to misuse or to abuse, to have things for personal use, materials, books, papers and all that. But severally and in many instances, I have felt the urge of just being a person of integrity. If a material is for government use, let it just stay for government use. If it's for office use, let it just stay for office use. So learning to make good use of office resources and office materials, including time for the office, just giving the time for the office maximum use and not using it for personal gain.
In this life and in this generation, we are the leaders, young people. And so if we can have the vision, and if they can have the vision right from campus, then I believe they can also transform their world.
So I'm convinced and convicted that there's hope for Kenya, there's hope for our nation, there's hope for our society, and there's a remnant that God has set apart And with time, I believe that we're going to see change.
Moving forward, I am more aware of myself. I have resolved in my heart to live a values-driven life.
Given that the intern is able to work selflessly with that humility, being very creative, and also that volunteerism spirit, we are seeing GIPro playing a very important role in enhancing accountability within public service, transparency within public service, and generally productivity and good interpersonal relations between the public servants and also the clients.
We have already perceived, because of the environment and because of the leaders who have gone before us, that public service is basically making money and getting rich, which is not the thing. So I think this program, if we instill the values and the integrity to the young people, we'll have a new generation whereby people will come to the public service knowing that they are coming to serve.
For this country to move forward, when we talk about development and we talk about Vision 2030, we talk about the African Agenda of 2063, we will need people of integrity, people of leadership, who will lead the values for us to be able to move this continent and this country forward.
GIPro is seeking to join the government as a non-state actor to contribute to the public sector reform. I see GIPro making an important contribution in terms of contributing to the pipeline of the next generation of public servants who are going to be ethical and moral champions for the change that we need and for effective service delivery.
Anybody who seeks to influence others out there and to influence the public square of this country, first of all, must seek transformation for themselves, grow in the understanding of what God wants of the society, and to be willing to spend and be spent so that they can be change agents for the transformation of this country.
It does not take a whole society to change a society. It takes committed individuals, however few there are. And GIPro is an avenue of creating a people with an attitude that is different, with values that are different, with a commitment that is a higher commitment to give and to transform.
Itahesabika